Hey, what is going on, my fellow Marvel Rivals gamers? They just dropped some balance changes for tomorrow for 3025, and your boy Coach Patchy's got to review them, right? So, with that being said, let's get into it. But I want to premise: don't be afraid to comment down below. Give me your opinions. Give me something to react to. Give me something to comment to, so we can talk about some things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, strange, not strange. Captain America nerf, reducing health, gonna reduce survivability. I think that's fine. He was already really survivable, and I think he's in a okay spot, like uh, like low key, yeah. So not too much to talk about that. Doctor Strange getting a buff to his ult generation. I think that's nice with all the nerfs that he's been getting. I still think Strange is a really good character, but a little touch here is not going to be bad. I think this would be nice for Strange players, especially with all the damage decreases. So now it'll kind of balance it out. Groot getting a nerf to his Ironwood Wall is nice because it kind of reduces his survivability. But I feel like Groot probably needs a little bit more to kind of bring him more in line with other tanks. I think right now they're going to just test out the 600, see how it feels. And if it's still too much, they'll probably bring it down again. Um, but what I would like to see, I think, is I would like to see Groot Wall have like a ramp up. So instead of it just being like I place it, it's at 600. I'd rather it be I place it and the wall's at like 400, and then the longer it kind of like stays there, it increases to that 600. It makes sense. So it hardens, right? It's kind of like you're allowing the wall to like take roots, right? So I think like something like that could be nice, where like if he puts the wall and you insta react to it, you just break it, right? So he can't just throw it up. But like if he throws it up in the right situation, now that wall is going to be really strong, right? And I mean, hey, if you want to revert numbers and then just make it so like, okay, it's got 4, break it right away, and if you don't, that wall's going to be there. I think that's fair. Spider-Man getting a nerf, I think that's okay. The reason why I feel like it was so big was probably because of like ping latency things. In a sense, when they were probably making the character that a lot of times his like punch from the Spider-Man's point of view was probably just missing way too often. So they made it big enough to where those situations wouldn't happen as much. I feel like the more and more we see it get reduced, the more and more we're going to see Spider-Man's whiffing punches that they should have hit 100%. But as of right now, I'm cool with the nerf because they haven't confirmed that if that's the case. And I definitely do think there's a lot of times where he's uppercutting things that he can't even see. So, yeah. Bucky getting a buff, basically taking out that, I'm assuming, that initial stage of that hook. So when you throw it right away, it's just going to be that level 2 hook, which will be kind of cool. It'll make him a little bit better. People are really like, oh, Bucky, Bucky, Bucky. But I feel like Bucky's a kind of unnecessary evil because you gotta have it. You gotta have DPS that can keep blanks and keep tanks in check. And I mean, hey, if you don't like him, ban him. But I think this is fine. Bucky's in a spot where I feel like he still kind of gets outclassed by Hela on most maps, but I think he still has those spots where he's just undeniably insane. But like I said, on those maps, if you don't like Bucky, if you can't play the Bucky, ban him. And if not, hey man, you know what you're getting yourself into. And I know like having like, oh, well, I have to ban him. You don't have to ban him. As well as like I said, I think there's certain maps where he's just inherently not as good as Hela and other things. Adam Warlock getting buffed. I like this for Adam. I think it'd be nice for healing. But if we're gonna give Adam more heals, we're gonna have to take something away. I'm not a fan of his ult. I think team reses are horrendous. Even though when they get res, they're low health, but like if he does it correctly, which most of the time, let's assume that supports ult correctly, he's just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna build ult so fast now. So I feel like to counteract this buff, you're gonna have to make his ult take longer to build up, or I don't know, man. Like maybe you gotta make it so he's got to be closer to res. Something we gotta nerf him somehow because I feel like a meta where Adam is good is not a fun meta because Star Lord is ridiculous, as well as he's gonna be pumping out heals now because I mean I'm fairly confident that you're gonna hit 1 or 2 headshots here and there. So I don't know, man. This Adam buff is a little weird. It's good for Adam, but I just feel like it's gonna really creep us towards a triple support meta again or a sustain meta, and I'm just not a fan. I'm really not a fan because the thing about Adam was it's like he has really strong peaks, but then like really vulnerabilities, and like this is kind of gapping that, which kind of like kills his like identity. Cloak and Dagger. Why are we buffing Cloak and Dagger? This is one of like here's the thing of my philosophy. If you have a character that's inherently easy, right? You don't make it stronger and stronger and stronger. We saw what happened when they giga buffed the Cloak and Dagger ult. All those support players who had no business being the ranks they were the ranks they were because that ult was kind of like an I win button. And we don't like I win buttons, right? That's just the reality of things. And having a support ult that's an I win button and not necessarily a counter sucks, especially when it doesn't have any like skill expression. Like a Jeff ult has skill expression. Like you gotta hit it. You know, you're risking your life when you're doing it. Cloak, for the most part, you're cool. So buffing her damage is just like, it's weird. If I had to buff anything, I mean, I'm cool with the dagger damage increase because it hits like a freaking pillow. But like Cloak, why are we making Cloak stronger? It's not a fan. If I were to say anything, I would like for the swap from dagger to cloak to be a little faster, so it's a little bit easier to kind of get off those moments where you get you can like Suzu or whatever you want to call it, Veil, I don't know what it's called. But basically make your team immune. So I would like that, but like, giving him more damage, not a fan. Giving Luna more damage is crazy too. When I first read this, I assumed that it was going to be like, oh, she does less damage at range, but we're giving her more damage. Why are we giving her more damage? Why are we making supports more like DPS? Why are we making it more supports more threatening? Like, I really just don't understand. Like, you're buffing arguably one of the best characters in the game, if not the best. I don't think she's the best support. I think Loki's the best. I'm biased, but yeah, like, why? Why are we buffing Luna? This doesn't make sense. This character needs nerfs, but yet we're buffing her patch after patch. Mantis, she's getting a damage increase. Not a fan. I feel like what Mantis needs is a resource buff. I would like to see her have more leaves, so more heal up time, while also giving her more opportunities to not only damage amp herself, but her teammates. Like, I think like that's Mantis's thing. Obviously, the headshot thing, giving her resources is nice because it just really helps the skill expression. But like, I really do think she should be able to like get them a little bit faster. So if she needs to like double heal someone just to get those little bursts to make a difference, that'd be nice. You know, like, I know it's like, oh, well, you're stacking a heal, but it does have that little burst, right? So like, it would be nice if she could have the ability to do that where she needed that little bit of burst as well. But giving her more damage, giving supports in general more damage is just weird, man. The more and more damage they get, the less reasons you need to run specific DPS, which is going to force a sustain meta, which is going to force a triple support meta, and those metas suck. Take it from me. I've played other games. I've played this game that have had very sustaining metas. They're boring. Why? Because what does that force? That forces you to either match the sustain meta or to run burst. And people don't like that. People don't like the super sustain. People don't like the high end of the burst. They want a middle ground. They want a game where burst will always be strong because it's burst, right? But sustain isn't so high that you can run other things like Punisher, like low damage characters, but that have high outputs, just a high output of damage in terms of just like damage consistency, because people enjoy other things. When you force people to always have to play the Hawkeyes, the Hellas, things like that, it's really stale, because on one end you got to support that's insta dying, right? And then on the other end, if you're not running that, they're never gonna die, and it's just not fun for everybody. And then I don't know nothing about this team. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm not even gonna talk about it. Upon leaping to a teammate, Stellar Impact provides you bonus health. Cool. So I don't know. I can't really comment on this, but like I said earlier, if you got any comments, you got any opinions, definitely drop them down below, because I would love to hear them. What do y'all think? I'm really like 50-50 on this. I think tank changes are great. I think Groot needs like a wall rework, like I said, and that'll kind of like bring him down, but still allow him to have some power level. DPS, I think it's okay. People are not going to agree with the Winter Soldier. I think it's fine. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But just the support buffs, man. Why? Why are we buffing supports, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. But hey, we'll just have to see how it plays out, right, chat? And yeah. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, night, morning, whatever you may be. It's your boy, Coach Apxche, and I'll be out. Don't forget to comment, man. I want to hear what y'all think.